All right, guys, let's go over our do now. Don't mind, my little one is in the background crying. He's okay. He just doesn't want to go to bed. So let's take a look at number one. Miss McDermott likes to keep track of her finances. In her emergency savings account, she keeps an amount of $650.55. While driving to work, she got a flat tire that cost $47.20 to replace. What was the value of her bank account after replacing the tire? What was the value of the bank account after replacing the tire? You might be thinking, could this possibly be just a subtraction problem? And in fact, it is. Okay, so if I take my $650.55 and I subtract 47.20, all right, I'm going to end up with 603.35. So your answer to number one is C. For number two, Miss McDermott wants to give out party favors at her wedding. On Etsy, she found tiny boxes of candy for $3.10 each. And she would have to pay a flat fee of $11.25 for shipping. Okay. Oh, flat rate. There we go. At Target, she found the same boxes of candy for $3.22 each. If Miss McDermott is inviting 75 people to her wedding, how much more money will it cost to purchase the boxes of candy from Etsy than from Target? Okay, so I'm looking for how much more money will it cost to purchase the boxes of candy from Etsy than from Target. Etsy is like a website. Okay, great. So let's find first how much it's going to cost from Etsy. So my formula here that I can make, okay, is going to be 75 times $3.10. Okay, that's together, plus the $11.25 for shipping. Okay, so when I say 75 times 310, it's going to give me 232.5. Okay, and then when I add the 11.25, that's going to give me, excuse me, 243.75. All right, so that's how much the Etsy cost. Now, for the Target, all I need to do is do the 322 times 75. And when I do that, I'm going to get 241.50. And so when asked how much more money will that be, I'm simply going to subtract the 241.50 from the 243.75. And that is going to give me $2.25. So she would save $2.25 if she bought the little bags of candy from Target. Take a look at number three. Michael invested money in an account that paid 4% simple interest annually. And I feel like we haven't practiced simple interest enough, so let's make sure that we're paying very close attention. After the year, Michael had $156 in his account. He did not make any deposits or withdrawals throughout the year. How much money was in Terry's account at the beginning of the year? Okay. So in this case, I think we have a case of a typo here. We changed our character's name. So this is Michael. All right. So, excuse me. He did 4% simple interest annually. And after the year, Michael had $156 in his account, and he hadn't made any deposits or withdrawals. So how much money was in his account at the beginning of the year? Okay. And so this is one of those where we need to find the original. This is one of those percent problems where we need to find the original. So in my key information box, I know that the original is what I do not know. That's his original deposit. Okay, and I know that the percent was a plus 4% for interest. And I know that at the end of that year, he had 156. So I'm going to do my original times my percent is equal to the new. And in this case, I don't know the original. All right, so we'll call it X. And it's 1.04. So that's the 100% plus that 4% interest times the original is equal to 156. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and divide this. And when I do that, I get that the original amount of money deposited was $150. And so that's up here. That is my B. Okay, taking a look at number 4. Forgive me, I'm losing my voice a little bit, so bear with me. Mr. Boyce is planting a garden in the shape of a circle in his backyard for his wife. Mr. Boyce needs to find the area of the garden in order to buy the appropriate amount of soil. If the diameter of Mr. Boyce's garden is 8 feet, what is the area of the garden? Okay, so he needs to find the area of the garden in order to buy the appropriate amount of soil. And what we have, we're given the diameter. Okay, so if the diameter is 8 feet, then what is the area of the garden? And so I do need to remember that whenever I'm given one of the 4 measurements that we've worked on with circles, I can find all of them. Okay, so my radius I can find from my diameter of 8 feet. Okay, so if my diameter is 8 feet, my radius was 4 feet. All right, and from there I can do my circumference and I can do my area. So my area circumference, remember, is pi times the diameter, and the area is equal to pi times the radius squared. Okay, so what I'm going to do is write down area is equal to pi times the radius squared, which means that area is equal to pi times the radius, which is 4 squared. All right, and yeah, I'm doing every little step here. Area is equal to pi times 16. Okay, and then because we're given the scientific calculator to use, we're not going to use 3.14. We're going to plug in the pi on our calculator. So when we do that, we should get 16 times pi is equal to, and you're going to get 50.26548, and it's going to go on and on and on and on and on. We're going to round it to the nearest hundredth. Okay, so my area is going to be equal to 50.27 feet squared. Area is equal to, and there I have it as B. Okay, and this is kind of a long do now today. We'll take a look at number 5. Okay, determine the average of the following set of values. Okay, looking at determining the average of the following set of values. Okay, so that's mean. So I have 1, 2, 3. These are kind of close together, these numbers. Okay, and so in order to do that, I'm going to need to add those together. I'm going to add negative. I have my 12.61 plus 25 plus negative 3.45 plus 7.5. And when I add those all together, I get a total of 1644. And I'm going to divide those by the number of data points that I have. So that's 4. I'm going to do 1644 divided by 4. And when I do that, I'm going to get 4.11. And it might seem a little weird to have negatives when you're calculating a mean or an average. And whenever I feel like I'm struggling to understand a concept with negative integers, I always kind of switch to money, right? Because people never mess up money on purpose. But you can understand if somebody had a bank account and it had negative 1261 one day because maybe they overdrew, then it had 25, then it had negative 345 because they overdrew again, then it had $7.50. And I would say the average amount in that bank account was $4.11. But there could be a case where the average amount in a bank account is a negative amount of money. If for some reason you have spent more than what you have in your account, or you've been charged fees for some reason or another. So, yes, you can do mean with negative, same way you do it with all positive integers. And that's it for Arduino.